Welcome to the True Mind Shifters channel. In this channel, we share true stories of our own lives on fear, shame, and guilt to help you overcome challenges in your life and to find your best self. Now, this, when I say best self, that doesn't mean that there's a worst self and that there's an opportunity to shame yourself for not being your best self. But what we really are talking about is finding and living your best life and finding your way through challenges, as well as living in a place of purpose and happiness where we feel fulfilled, where we feel at peace. It's in us already, and a lot of times it's about uncovering what's there. If you like this topic, please like, subscribe, and share with others to help amplify the goodness of the reach that we're attempting to have. Additionally, we invite you to post comments because A, we'd like to know if this material resonates with you, but also if there's something you'd like us to explore. And maybe you'd like our opinion or for us to explore a topic. We would happily do that. You can submit your comments and thoughts anonymously, or you're welcome to comment on the channel page as well. And we will definitely dig in and share our different perspectives. This week, I am without Marina, who has gone through quite a bit since the most recent Hurricane Milton hit Florida and then recovering from some illness. So there's just been a lot of things she's navigated and she's doing great, but could do better. And we look forward to having her when she's feeling 100%, or at least pretty darn close to 100%. We've been talking about various ways of healing, and it's been an interesting array of speakers in our last few weeks. And since I'm solo today, I'm going to share some things that have to do with my own learning. And it has to do with knowing what I need and asking for help. I was probably in my 40s when I started to realize that I didn't know how to ask for what I needed from my partner in marriage. I would say how I would feel, and I would get very angry or frustrated that my feelings didn't activate a response that alleviated how I felt. And everybody processes information differently. And in this case, there could be a number of different reasons why my husband didn't understand what to do with my feelings. And he is a wonderful person, very responsible, but he didn't hear me. He didn't hear me in a way. A lot of times the conversation would turn from how I felt to him feeling blamed for my feelings, shamed for how I felt. That's how he processed it. And then it would turn into an argument that that wasn't what he was trying to do. And then we're off to the races. And I'm busy defending and arguing for how I felt and reading a lot and being, background in social science that I love learning about people. And I learned a lot about myself and I'm still learning. And hopefully that's the whole point of this is as I share what I've experienced, maybe it can resonate with you in your life. I knew about conflict already, and I know that conflict is healthy, but this didn't feel healthy. And I wanted it to be. I picked up a book by Dr. Ito, and the book had to do with what to do when he won't change. And I also wasn't changing. So let's be clear. So I was looking for the book to have the answer, and it has amazing insights. And I even called the author, and he told me to basically walk away from my relationship. And I've shared before that I don't think people are disposable, and I'm not suggesting that in all situations you don't walk away, but I definitely, well, we explored that and we'd separated twice in our marriage, but it just wasn't, both of us agreed it wasn't what we wanted. We truly love each other, and as messy and ugly and mean or nasty we could be to each other, those were all signs of irritation, frustration, and a lack of skill. So we have been on this path together, and then I've been on it individually for myself. But realizing in my 40s that I didn't know how to articulate what I needed was extremely humbling. And it's taken years of practice and starting and trying and attempting and failing and learning new ways to articulate what I need, and then asking for it in a way that it's almost like we speak different languages. And I know there's other research and data on that too, but I want it to be simple. I don't want to have to read a whole book. And why can't we just help each other through this stuff, right? We're so many of us are going through similar challenges. So anyway, the net was, yes, there was a great process. No, I wasn't interested in dumping my husband, and I needed new skills. So I'm still on that journey of articulating what I need, and I can come out a little guns a-blazing. I use that expression from time to time to reflect how if my needs aren't thought of, I get a little bit resentful. And in some cases, if in the situation it's perpetuated and like I'm attempting to have my needs met or to have my perspective heard, I get frustrated. So recognizing my own behavior in terms of, hey, I'm looking for you to look out for me, or I'd like you to understand something. I've had to learn how to talk about my intentions, my feelings and attitudes. And I've also had to be very honest with myself recently about not expecting my husband to act the way one of my girlfriends would act if I was having an issue, or how I would treat someone if they were telling me their issue. But that's kind of what I've been doing. So here I am in my early 50s and realizing, oh, I still have some new moves to learn, but that's okay. I'm learning them, and that's the point. And if you're in a process or a phase in your relationship where you're still struggling, that just know, I think learning is part of the whole drill. Learning, if you think you're done learning, then you may be missing some really important lessons, and maybe you're not self-reflecting enough. So, food for thought. But the other part is asking for help. And this is where my connection and partnership with Marina has been so incredibly powerful and helpful. Having people with different points of view, different life experiences, and the ability to look at you from the outside in and objectively give you information in a caring way is incredibly powerful and helpful. She's not going to tell me that I've done everything right. She's not going to tell me that I don't have anything to think about. She's going to hear my stories of whatever's frustrating me, and she's going to zero in on what I'm not doing. And one of the things we talked about this past week, as I spoke to her briefly, is I'm still learning to ask for help. Marina is incredibly intuitive and very good at reading people. And again, I think it's easier when it's not you. You're the fish in the fishbowl, and someone else is able to see you inside your fishbowl. So she can tell me, "Hey, you keep swimming to the left. Why don't you, use your other fin and swim to the right?" I know that's a corny analogy, but I am sort of just using this programming of not asking for help when I could ask for help more. And if you've ever been in a position where you're feeling like you're the only one doing anything, or that you're doing the lion's share of the work, or the family care, or the project, then you have a responsibility to yourself to stop and to think about what is everything that you're doing? What can other people help you do? And ask for help in a way that isn't resentful, but lets people know that they're needed and valued. So I'm working on this myself as a person who tends to feel like my feelings might be considered last. And again, maybe that's not true, right? It's just how I feel. But I need to make sure that when I'm asking for help, that it becomes an exercise of me inviting people to share their value, but also to be vulnerable enough and not maybe strong in my mind. Maybe I feel like I need to be strong for everyone and do everything, and that it's okay for me to say, I can't do everything, and I'd really love for your help. So I'll continue on this in some way. I have a feeling Marina and I will dig into this more soon as well. And in the meantime, we will continue our conversation about healing and how that plays out in our personal and professional lives. And next week, we have an incredible duo that will help us dig deeper into the idea of what a great leader is. And again, this translates to ourselves personally and professionally. And we hope that these stories help you reflect on your own life. And in the meantime, we send you support, empowerment, and love.